Another thought when it comes just to gratitude is being able to take yourself to that happy place. And let's be transparent. Everybody's not in a great relationship like us. And some individuals either may be alone or maybe in relationships that are hindering them from their personal growth. So being able to have that, self satisfying component that can bring them to that happy place is extremely vital as well.
I never grew up with educators that look like myself. So I
100.
feel like honestly, like we are that new wave that make being wise, being smart, being educated cool, right?
Absolutely.
Wisdom is a powerful tool, but oftentimes we might neglect it because of who it's coming from. You feel me? But if we can chop it up with a young buck and really implant a seed, man, like that's it's more than just education at that point. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on, beautiful people? This is the Let's Grow Together podcast where diverse individuals come to serve, connect, and grow in areas that they're most passionate about. This your boy James. I'm here with my brother Marcus. Tap in and let the people know how you doing today.
What's up? What's up, family? We missed y'all sincerely. Glad to be back. As always, giving y'all some positive radiant energy. As far as a check-in, what's going on? I'm about 2 weeks into this married life, man, and I'm loving it. Everything is a whole lot smoother. This is a cheat code, fellas. I advocate for you doing it sooner than later. Nah, I'm just playing. But again, it's been a beautiful journey. Definitely just loving on each other and getting ready for the rest of our life, So outside of that, man, getting ready for the gala, which is gonna be our first gala this year, man, December 9th. Gonna be huge, giving away some scholarships, honoring some community members, all that and more, man. It's gonna be phenomenal. We actually have one of our guest speakers was actually in Harriet. She was in Black Panther, and she was in What Happened to Tyrone, or Who Cloned Tyrone, right? So again, phenomenal individual. Everything is coming together, but it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna empower the youth, all that and more. Outside of that, homecoming is this week. So it's good.
Hey,
Your boy get to reminisce and remember the good days and all that good stuff as well. So excited for that. And last but not least, man, our young bucks got back in the elementary schools this week. So beyond ecstatic. Actually connected to the gala because the gala is gonna serve as a toy drive to empower some of those youth and make sure they have the Christmas as well, man. So again, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good energy going on, James.
man, that's so dope, bro. Man, y'all got a lot of fire stuff going on, man. Super proud of y'all for the work that y'all doing in terms of putting together the gala. I've been seeing the fundraisers and different flyers and even just some of the speakers y'all got. So man, shout out to y'all for continuing doing the good work. Man, very similar, bro. It's the season of planning and executing for us. Myself, as y'all all know, man, just came back from a much needed uh, vacation to Denver. Well, really just Colorado in general, because I was a little bit of everywhere out in Colorado, man. From Lakewood to Estes Park to Boulder, Colorado, man. Obviously, we were in Denver, but man, we went a little bit of everywhere, did a little bit of everything. Didn't bump into Deion Sanders like I wanted to, but hey, we went and turned Boulder up while we was out there also. But my highlight from that trip, man, me and my girl, man, we went to the Indian Hot Spring, and it's just a quick little funny story. So the heated jacuzzis are outside, right? And I'm
Okay.
not one for super hot water. Like I hate super hot water. Like if me and my lady shower together, I'm like, man, you got to turn that down, right? But we're outside. It's a little chilly, you know what I'm saying? It's probably about 55 to 60 degrees, nothing crazy. So we getting the jacuzzi, and behind us is a cliff, not a cliff, but it's a mountain. It's a mountain, like beautiful scenery. So imagine like not knowing that's behind you though, right? So I'm taking a video of my girl, like she looking good, she enjoying herself. I get the background, and she's like, "Why do you keep panning the camera up?" I'm like, "Oh, because I'm trying to get the scenery." When I tell you, bro, she turned around and went into panic mode. She was, "Oh my god, like that's so intimidating." I feel like one of those rocks might fall and it's over with for me. You've been sitting in here for 30 minutes already and ain't no rock field, so you good, man. But it was, man, endless vibes, man. It gave me an opportunity to really recharge and just focus up. Man, I tried my best, bro, to like I didn't do not disturb because I had my cars rented out at the time, but I tried my hardest not to look at my phone. But of course, man, it's all type of emails coming through because we actually went during the week. So emails coming through, updates about schools we working with, things like that. But I did a good job of not responding. But then the rest of the guys were in Mexico, bro. They were doing a holistic wellness kind of retreat in Mexico with the one of our partners, Mikasa Sukasa, who put on this like super dope festival. My guy, Cody, Chuck went out there. Alaja, who is our social media manager, Caitlin, who is some of our one of our mentors, she went out there as well. But shout out to Sydney from Yogaletics because he led some yoga sessions out there, and it was just a vibe from what I seen, man. And I'm proud of the guys because they went out there and did what we do. They were networking. I'm seeing social media followers going up. I'm seeing people tagging us. I'm like, yeah, this is how you get them, man. But a lot of dope stuff happening. I feel like I'm running my mouth, but the last thing we got a restorative justice conference coming up in January that
Come
we're
on.
planning. So man, we were looking to get some volunteers, man. We're gonna have all type of professionals in the RJ space there. But this is gonna be super dope. But it's focused on restorative practices in libraries around the country. But
Mm.
man, we're spearheading that. Shout out to one of our mentors, Stephen Jackson. He's given us the opportunity to kind of take the reins and do what we need to do. So I'm excited for that, man. But a lot of dope stuff. But yeah. Let's go ahead and get into the
That's love.
conversation for today.
Well, one, I need to know that date because that I think that's the perfect time to pull up as well as we talked about doing some things around the RJ. So,
Yeah.
again, kudos to you all. I'm glad you got the refresh. That's necessary. I know you be at work. I know Do Not Disturb wasn't feasible, but I hope you really got charged up and ready to rock and roll.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome. So, great transition, actually, right? Colorado, right? The peaceful. When I think about Colorado, I just think about peace. So, I think that is a perfect transition to our conversation around gratitude, right? We want to talk about gratitude. We want to talk about being able to refresh simultaneously as well. And James, I know again the book definition is always imperative for you before we even dive into the conversations.
Yeah, yeah.
So gratitude, a lot of people may think they know it, but they may not know the book definition. What is it, James?
Man, so it's funny because I was one of those people. Like I know what it is to be grateful and to express gratitude, but I googled it, and they gave me the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for, and to return kindness. So
Mm,
gratitude. But I
mm,
also the part that we really want to focus on in this conversation. We'll talk about gratitude holistically, but just really the readiness to show appreciation for. Um, Something that I think about when I think about being grateful, man. You talk about the trip to Colorado, man. It was one of those things where it was an opportunity to express some gratitude for doing the work that I do and just being appreciative of all the accolades and the things I got going on. But at the same time, man, Colorado was a little intimidating. Like,
mm.
you driving through these mountains and um, we were in a car and it's funny, like, shout out to Turo, man, for giving me the opportunity to be a guest now in someone else's car, right? And they car wasn't A1. It wasn't the way it needed to be. You know what I'm saying? And we going down this we coming from up a hill, bro, down one of the mountains, and bro, it's raining, we slipping and sliding, the brakes ain't good, so I'm like, when we got
Mm.
down to the bottom, I was like, all praises, we made it, because I thought, man, so just jokingly, I was being appreciative of just like, man, just being calm and being reflective, because like, man, I was like, I definitely thought it was gonna be, man, you want to go see your boy, because that shit was
Mm.
crazy. But
Mm.
but when we talk about gratitude, Marcus, we had kind of talked offline a little bit, man, and you had said that some of the current events were like really hitting home for you. Kind of talk a little bit about that and how that equates or correlates with being grateful.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. As always, y'all know reflection is huge for me, but seeing it from other people's lens is even bigger. So, as of recently, again, unless you live on a rock, I know you all have been seeing a lot of things when it comes to the war going on between Israel and Pakistan, right? Or Palestine, excuse me. It's a lot of crazy things going on a consistent basis. I'm seeing youth who are deceased due to buildings crashing upon them. And especially during the last week or two, it's been hitting home. And oftentimes, Instagram pops up and it's like blocked out. This image may be a little bit something of that nature, and I click on it every time because I mentally I'm already kind of prepped for it. But it's been extremely humbling to me just being an American, knowing that yeah, there's a lot of kinks and quirks that come with America, but at the same time, like we're in a safe environment. I'm not worried about my daughter going to school, outside the nuances that come with that. And it just took me some time today, like just to drop to my knees and just pray and say I appreciate it, because it could be a lot worse. And essentially, anytime I think about just gratitude in general, that's what I always come back to, and I always inspire myself, regardless of where I am mentally within my own personal journey. Is it could be a lot worse, and this is a prime scenario of just that, right? I know you've been seeing it as well too, man. Like, what's your thoughts? What's your take?
Yeah, man. To be completely honest, like I'm not entirely hip on the whole everything that's going on, but it always brings me to, there's a man on Instagram. I think it's Sean King. Like he typically posts about things like this, man. And I seen a post, and the thing that's most disheartening is the children, the
Yeah,
children that are being affected by it. And for me, it's like, you know, my girl is a mortician, so we talk about death all the time, and it's very interesting to me, bro, that she made a comment to me one day and was like, because I'm like, that's not normal. Like she was like, no, death is normal. She was like,
mm, mm,
unfortunately, it is. And what I think has happened in society is that we've become so desensitized because it seems like a regular occurrence that you get online, whether it's somebody in the United States being killed for whatever reason, or if it's someone around the world that's at war. But what it does for me, similar to you, is it makes me appreciative that I am in a safe space. I am in a place of people that love me, and I'm not at war. I'm not battling for my survival every day that I go out. But it's just one of those things that, man, we complain about first world problems. Like we talking about grocery stores and inflation and interest rates, where there are people literally around the world getting their houses blown up. Or if you look at what happened in Maui a little while ago with the fires, it's like it's so much stuff that is going on in the world, and people just like, man, like they need to just take the time to be grateful, because we all go through, but it could be a lot worse. And I think, man, if you don't show that gratitude, man, like you missing out, because gratitude is connected to well-being. It's connected to feeling good. So I think showing gratitude and being grateful is more than just just being thankful or showing appreciation. It's really living a life of gratitude.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Yeah, this is the living. It's a live, interactive action as well too. Um, Again, for me personally, again, we always talk about being shell shock. I think the shell shock effect comes in play when it's youth that's being, killed at these rapid rates. Again, just from a community standpoint, um, I've always heard a lot of the parents in which we service say that I want to go before my kid goes,
Yeah,
and that really hit me hard. Like that, like it even comes down to you thinking that, because you don't know what's next in a lot of the youth situations or the environment in which they hang. So for me, seeing the youth, the pure, untainted, the innocent youth being killed at these rapid rates, again, it's definitely doing a lot for me. And every time I see these scenes, there was a specific scene where I saw a father carrying a young girl, probably about 4 or 5, lifeless. They actually dug her up from a building that was bombed.
mm.
And literally, as I'm watching this, Avery's tapping me on my shoulder, and I just hugged her for a minute and just took a break. Like, she was like, "Daddy, what I do? Did I do good?" And I'm like, "Babe, like you just being you. I
Yeah, yeah,
appreciate you." And I've been that much more intentional with just saying thank you, saying I appreciate you, I love you, all these different things that we may not have heard. But on the contrary, before I got into this mental state, uh, my wife had to kind of check me a little bit in the midst of having a lot on my plate. I realized that sometimes I ostracize myself, or I'm distant because
yeah,
I'm so locked into what's going on. We got the board meeting going on. We got the gala coming up. We just had a financial literacy with PNC session, and I'm working to check off all these other boxes that I'm overlooking one, and
yeah,
that's baby girl, and that's my wife. And she was able to check me respectfully, and I've been very receptive to not be snapping at Avery, not to raise my voice, letting her be a child. Today, my baby tugged on my shirt for like 15 minutes. And normally I would have been like, let me go. But again, I just smiled, and I was so joyful and appreciative and just grateful for even being able to have that interaction experience. And I would challenge us not to have these crazy things we're seeing on our phone that are unnatural to even get to
Yeah.
that state.
Yeah, bro. It's funny because you say, man, she pulling on your shirt. I thought of the Family Guy meme with Stewie like, mommy, 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 and then Lois go crazy on him. But you said
Yeah.
something, man. We just had a training at Roosevelt. We just trained another group in restorative practices, and one of the icebreaker questions was, like, what is your fear? And one of the participants in the circle was like, I fear, like, some of them said death, some of them said dying alone. The third person said, I fear my mom. I fear dying before my mom, so she has to see me dead or something of
Mm.
that nature. And I tried to break the tension in the room, and I was like, dead, dead, dead. So it was funny at the time. But the reason I bring that up is because, like, we don't realize how much people think of their own morality. Like, we don't understand how,
Mm.
like, how often people think about it, even though for many of us it's a ways away. But because of so much stuff that goes on in the world, it's like it could really like any day we can all go. But I think even with that thought process, that motivates me to, like, go out and do what I do and do it
Yeah.
at a high level, because it's like you only get one chance at this life, so why not live life to the fullest? And
Mm-hmm.
it's funny, it's an interesting parallel between us, man. When I was in Denver, man, I'm thinking everything going good, it's going smooth. I'm like, man, this is dope. We ain't arguing, we ain't getting into it over nothing stupid. I'm like, man, me and my girl, we living life. And we was kicking back on the patio of the Airbnb we had, and she had brought to my attention, like, I don't think I ever seen you completely relaxed. I was like, what you mean?
Mm.
She like, we're on vacation, and, like, you just always on point. Like, what's the issue? Like, why are you always just so protective or so? And I'm like, man, I'm from Chicago, baby. I can't even lie to you. Like, it's too much going on. You gotta have your head on a swivel. And she was like, man, I understand that. She was like, but I really want you to relax. And so it made me think when you said,
Mm.
you got the gala, you got the board meetings, you got this, you got that. And I think as people, especially that are higher achievers, that are focused on setting goals and achieving them, I think it's always gonna be the next carrot, the next bag, the next accomplishment, the next. And I think that's cool, go after those things, but, man, we have to take time to be grateful for the present moment, the thing that we're doing right now. There was a guy, he had this quote. He said, I'm a be at where my feet at, just meaning I'm focused on where my feet are right now. Like, I know I got a journey to go on, but right now I'm present, I'm focused on this. And she just opened up a whole floodgates of me just trying to be more grateful for the small little nuanced moments we be having together. So that resonated with me a lot when you were talking about what happened with you and wife.
It's so crazy how our counterparts can humble us extremely
Facts.
fast with little things as well.
Yeah,
But
they
I
help
think
they
that
help us build character, bro. They help us build character.
I like how you position that. It's all
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
perspective. But
Facts.
uh, ultimately, I think that's another thing about being grateful is being receptive of that partner's feedback,
Yeah,
and even being open, being receptive, and then having that back and forth communication as well too is beyond vital. And I'm telling you, bro, ever since the marriage, like things have been butter. I'm like, damn, like is this the cheat code? Like for real, bro. I definitely advocate for this because at one there's union in play. We know that at the end of the day, we got you, you got me, and we all in. It ain't no jumping ship at this point in
yeah,
time,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
By any means. So that's one, and then two, communication is just more vital because we know that we're in this boat together, and whatever the destination lands is on us ultimately. So just being grateful in regards to that, and then also we've been in conversation about scaling back holidays. I think this people may look at this as kind of like, what? How does that go hand in hand with grateful? But we've been more focused on the engagement and the collective than providing gifts and things of that nature. So the conversation I've been having with my wife is that going forward, I don't want to blow all these funds in these man-made holidays, these pagan things to edify each other. I want us to spend time together, and I want us to put something aside that 10 years down the line can really be a seed to change the whole game, opposed to the small interactions during these specific days.
yeah. It's funny that you say that, bro, because me and my girl on the same wavelength. I think we might have mentioned this on the podcast too, man. Like I don't celebrate Christmas, Halloween, uh, Thanksgiving. I don't celebrate none of that. But what I do celebrate is the bringing of people that you love and cherish together. Yeah, because we had a Thanksgiving episode a little while ago, and I remember saying
Mhm.
that because I love you 365. So why do I have to spend money on you on Valentine's Day to show you that, right? But
Right.
I think this is actually one of the points that I wanted to talk about is like gratitude in relationships. Like your romantic relationship with husband, spouse, or a partner, but then also just the relationships. Like man, you got your mastermind, right? Like I am grateful for my friends, bro. I am grateful for my brothers, but most of all, like I'm grateful for my girl because we joke on the podcast a lot about going to Target or going to a store and it taking hours and but I'm also grateful for the during that hour in Target she was looking at stuff for me, stuff that I would have never even thought
Mhm.
about, right? she's
Mhm.
she's buying stuff like, bro, this funny, man. I try to keep the podcast a little funny, but it's a true story, man. We were just having a conversation about like scaling back in terms of finances because me and her are in the process of purchasing a building, and
Come on.
we were having a conversation about saving, and she was like, "All right, we need to set a savings goal. We need to do this. We need to do that." And so she had came to me and said, "Man, I'm looking to go out of town for my birthday." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I had told her like, "All right, we can go to Denver, but then we could also go on this trip too." But then I had a thought. I'm like, if the priority was to save so we could purchase our building, what sense does it really make for us to be trying to go out the country at that? And so at first she was, I don't know, maybe we could kind of cut back on some other areas. So I'm like, all right, let's do that. So I'm like, all right, we both got an Amazon account. That don't really make sense, right? Maybe you should cancel yours and we just use mine. She was like, nah, I ain't gonna lie, we can't do that. So I joke with her. I'm like, oh, cause you be buying all that stuff, you don't want me to see it. She was like, nah, cause really, I might buy you something. I want to surprise you, and I don't want you to know. So I was like, damn, like even when I'm trying to get on her for spending, she's thinking about me. So
Mhm.
at the end of the day, bro, like I'm extremely grateful for her because man, she challenged me. Like without her, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I'm talking about we joke and say character, like bro, she helps me develop character every day because she sees me in ways you guys don't see me. Like
Of course.
she
Of
see the
course.
chink she see the chinks in my armor or when somebody giving me the side eye where somebody ain't with me, and I'm just like no, it ain't like that. She like you probably shouldn't be giving that energy, and I'm just like nah, you tweaking, babe. It's all good. But she know, like, I see how they coming, I see how they moving, and I see where you going. That don't make sense. So man, just showing appreciation. So what I started doing, bro, is like, even if she did something out of character or that I didn't like, right? Instead of highlighting that to her, just go affirm her in some way. So what I started doing, bro, is just like when I'm a little frustrated and I know that it's probably over something petty, I just be like, man, babe, I love you more than yesterday, but less than tomorrow. And I just keep it simple, move it around, like keep it moving. And she was just like, and you could just tell, like she blushing, just like, why you say that? Like, and it's random, bro. Random little acts of kindness and increase, and
Mm.
she love that shit.
I love that. Look again, cheat codes. Y'all getting a lot of cheat codes today, fellas. Nah. That's big. My girl's father always said this early in our relationship, and it used to make me crack up. But now I'm really holding near and dear to it. He says anything is with two heads is a monster, and essentially understanding that wife is the net. She gonna catch all the different angles. I'm
Yeah,
focused on the ultimate goal. But just having that collaborative thought process, again, from a monetary standpoint, we talked about how vital that is, from a vision, and then really just working collectively together to attain both of those is huge. So again, I definitely love that, and I appreciate the perspective. I think kind of in transitioning, another thought when it comes just to gratitude is being able to take yourself to that happy place. And let's be transparent. Everybody's not in a great relationship like us. And some individuals either may be alone or maybe in relationships that are hindering them from their personal growth. So being able to have that, self-satisfying component that can bring them to that happy place is extremely vital as well. So when I think about mine, Snapchat has been sending me a lot of notifications about memories from years back. Again, it's homecoming week. They got challenges. Post yourself your freshman year in your dorm.
yeah.
Bro, I was looking back at my pictures, cracking
Oh, that's why you
up.
was posting that stuff on IG and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
that makes
Hey,
sense. That
you were
makes
probably like,
sense.
what this dude doing, right? I
I was like, he got a lot of them little light skinned nigga poses going on.
got Hey, bro, you ain't the only one who said that. That's the crazy part, bro.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I was just laughing at how I've grown and developed.
yeah.
And just seeing me then to seeing me now is a drastic difference. And I was just cracking up. So being able to reflect on yourself, one when you were in your happy place, one when you were not where you are today and in the midst of your journey or evolving as well, is always great just to charge yourself back up, man. But what do you do when it comes to, finding that happy place or just reflecting within that as well?
Man, bro, the theme of the whole conversation, man, I just practice gratitude. When I'm not feeling well, I ain't gonna lie, like I'm rarely upset. Like anybody that knows me would tell you, man, I don't know how he does it, but he's rarely upset. Like my girl, probably, I don't think she ever seen me like mad, like really mad or off my square. But if there is a situation where I am, man, I just ground myself in the belief and thought that like tomorrow is gonna be better than today, or yesterday was kind of tough, but I'm here, right? I got another opportunity. I have
Mm-hmm.
another chance to keep moving and keep doing what I'm doing. I also like to reflect a little bit too. It's funny, nothing really to do with homecoming, but our homecoming for college passed a couple weeks ago. But me, Cody, Chuck, because sometimes I forget all of us went to school together, right? I sometimes forget that because when we rarely talk about school. So and Chuck is 2 years ahead of me, and Cody is just 1 year ahead of me.
Gotcha.
So we were having a conversation the other day, and it was just funny how intertwined our journeys were, even though they weren't directly connected. And they was like, "Oh no, you was that guy based off what you saying," because I knew stuff that I shouldn't know. As when I was a freshman, Chuck was a senior. When I was a freshman, Cody was maybe a sophomore or junior. And so they were like, "How did you know that? How was you with them?" I'm like, "Bro, I was that guy." So it was one of those things where I was just grateful because I remember being a snotty nosed kid back in the day that was getting his pockets ran, was getting bullied, picked on, things like that, and then to progress. Like nothing changed. Like it wasn't like I was like, all right, I'm gonna start fighting, I'm gonna start doing all this. I just started being grateful for what I did have. I didn't have the toys or the clothes that other people may have, but I had my own room. Like wasn't a lot of kids at that age that had their own room. So I started reframing my thought process to think like, let's focus on what I do have. Let's not focus so much on what I don't have. And then, even though I don't have it, I just don't have it yet. So, to kind of the long way of answering this question is that, I just really try to reflect and just practice gratitude because at the end of the day, man, I think of it like this: the Creator is not gonna bless you if you aren't grateful for what you already have. I used the example at one of our sessions earlier this week. I'm like, if I got my fists clenched, not willing to share, not willing to give, not willing to relieve myself of something, how can I receive something in this same hand if it's clenched? So I said, one, obviously practice gratitude, but also be willing to give of yourself even though you don't have much to give. Because even though you gave that little bit, it frees you to now receive bigger, greater, more things. So practice gratitude, man, and even, doing a little bit for someone else that's less fortunate from more or less fortunate than you.
Law of the universe, man. I definitely agree, and I'm always recharged by pouring out into others as well. But I'm also a firm believer of making sure I pour into people's cups who oftentimes are drained because they pour into everybody else's.
Yeah.
I think that's what does the most for me. Getting those random texts from a mentee. I appreciate you. I miss you. I remember, man. I look back at a video from when I worked at Upward Bound. Bro, crazy, crazy having fun times with some of the college, well, the high school kids at that point in time where they stayed on Fayetteville State campus. It was me and it was a mega partner of mine who were real cool. We played football together, and they literally were playing some Stump the Yard music, and we had a dance battle, bro. I'm talking about, bro. I went crazy, was crumping, ended it with spraying Febreze in his face,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
murked him right there. Like, bro, like just laughing, just remembering all these good times and being able to empower others within it as well is again definitely been the most valuable for myself. But as we kind of wrap up, man, I would just ask from a gratitude journal standpoint. This is something that's applicable that a lot of individuals can do. I think we always talk about our well, I kind of consider my bullet points, my what's it called if it spells acronyms. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. My acronyms when it comes to the journal, which is SMART, which stands for stretch, meditate, affirmations, read, think, and reflect, as well as HOPS, which is humble, observative, positive, and solid. So again, every morning, just writing HOPS. Again, stands for humble, observative, positive, and solid, and using it in a sentence. Today, I will be humble and understand that I can get better in this specific arena, and vice versa for all of those. And my affirmation is each and every day, I'm getting better each and every way. So again, similar to yours, right? I'm getting better. Well, today is better than yesterday, things of that nature as well.
Facts.
I love that. And it's just a small slogan that you can kind of keep top of mind that's broad enough to apply to a couple of different disciplines across the board for you,
Yeah.
right? What insight would you have for somebody who hasn't practiced that just yet?
Hmm. So first, I want to make a comment on something you said, and I think it's valuable for our listeners. Sometimes we go out and we fill other people's cup, but sometimes we feel like that person isn't filling our cup. Uh, that's the wrong way to think about it, right? I think sometimes when you go out and you filling up other people's cup, although that particular person isn't returning the filling of cup, somebody out there is gonna fill your cup. I always say you reap what you sow. If you give good, good is gonna come back to you. So for me, whenever I'm filling someone else's cup, like I'm not thinking of it like, all right, this person has to fill my cup. What I'm saying is I just put some water out in the universe, and I don't know where it's gonna come from, but it's gonna come back to me, and it might come back double, right? So don't focus so much on the individual that you are filling their cup up. Focus on the act of filling the cup, and then just be grateful. Like I was able to even give that person a contribution to their cup. But
Can I comment on that?
yeah,
I
facts.
love that.
Yeah, of course.
Every you just gotta understand that everybody plays their role, right?
Yeah,
Some people is the poorest, some people is the people who get poured into, but everybody plays a similar role in a different position, if that makes sense, right? So just because we're pouring into youth, for instance, we're very intentional roots. We're pouring into the college students, so the college students can pour into the young bucks. The young bucks are going back home, bringing it to their household as
yeah,
well too.
yeah,
So everything is impacting everything else, and just because this one person doesn't play the position you desire them to be in somebody else's life and perspective, they play that role. So I love that. Put out into the universe, and
yeah.
essentially it'll get where it needs to.
Facts, facts. Nothing is created or destroyed; it's just transferred. So when you giving that energy, you giving that feeling of cup, what you doing is transferring energy to somebody, something out there, and it will be returned to you in due time. But to the original question, what advice would I give to somebody not currently practicing gratitude? I would just say, man, they missing out. Like you missing out on a super important part of life. I truly believe that you block your blessings not being grateful, like just point blank, period. And I think Marcus gave some good pointers in terms of practicing gratitude, but how I kind of do it is, I learned from Bob Proctor, and I write in the present tense, right? I say I am so happy and grateful now that, or I say I am so happy and grateful now for, right, for whatever it is, and then I will list about 10 or 12 things, and then I'm reading that to myself constantly, constantly, constantly. And it's the first thing I do when I wake up. And I'm not going to lie and say I do it every night before I go to bed, but I try to do it every night before I go to bed, because when you first wake up and right before you go to bed, your subconscious mind is the most vulnerable to information. So what you want to do is, if it's anything that you want to manifest, if it's anywhere you want to go, if it's anything you want to do, this is your opportunity to sneak that information past your conscious mind. Because during the day, man, you got a million things going on. You got emails, you got grant meetings, you got work to do. You got a spouse, you got all the stuff going on that subconscious mind is protected because it's too much logic going on. It's too much chaos, right? But right when you wake up, it's vulnerable. Right when you going to sleep, it's vulnerable. So those are the times you should really be practicing gratitude. And I think the ancestors had it figured all out. Before they go to sleep, they pray. When they wake up, they pray, right? So that is not by mistake. Like that there is some power in that stuff. So I would say, man, not only writing this stuff down in a journal, like Marcus said, but picking a time every day and scheduling it, practicing it. Like make this a thing that you do habitually, not just on a whim sometimes. And because for me, when I don't do the gratitude, the rest of my day feel weird. Like it's that one thing I'm like, damn, I forgot to do that, and I just feel weird for the rest of the day. So next day, I'm like, all right, let me make sure I tap in, I do what I need to do, so that my day could go the way that I want it to go.
Again, a lot said, a lot of jewels, a lot of cheat codes, a lot of all the above. But the biggest point is gratitude is a lifestyle. It's not a habit. It is not a hobby. It's a lifestyle. It's repetitive. Something you're investing time and energy in for the holistic approach that comes with it. But again, I know we said a lot, family. But I would just challenge you all to figure out what you're grateful for, and then how can you apply a lot of these principles to keep it top of mind on a consistent basis, and to continue to put that good energy into the universe so you can reap what you sow whole long term. So again, it was another great episode, James. But how can they connect with us going forward so they can tap in, give us feedback, what they want to hear, and all that other good stuff?
So y'all see the social media handles here, man. Followers been going up. As you can see, man, tap in with Roots, tap in with a Greater Good Foundation, tap in with myself, tap in with Marcus. But when y'all tapping in with us, we would love for y'all to also um like send us like some comments, right? Like let us know some of y'all own gratitude stories and some of y'all thoughts about, the conversation that we having, because again, this feedback that y'all giving us, as well as some of the thoughts that y'all share with us, it helps us improve. It helps us put these podcast episodes together, because we understand it's what y'all want, it's what y'all need, and we here being vulnerable, giving y'all what y'all need, man. So we appreciate y'all. Marcus, you got anything else for the people?
Again, man, let's grow together. It's for the collective. So you all's feedback is very imperative for us to continue to provide content that is relevant to you, to help charge you up, to empower you, and ultimately help us all grow collectively. So again, family, y'all tap in. We got some great stuff going on, but we really want y'all to be a part. So tap on the family, and at the end of the day, let's grow together. Y'all be blessed.